Hello, everyone. This is Mrs. Cowton. Today we are going to be beginning our discussion on why we must all become digital citizens. So first, it's important for us to know, why is digital citizenship important? It's important because children like you need the right support and education to make healthy and appropriate judgments in the digital world. Now, you're going to be seeing where it has a name and a year, and all that is that's me making a reference to the resource where I found this information. Another reason why it's digital citizenship is important is because understanding digital citizenship will help you conduct yourself safely and responsibly in the virtual world. So that means anytime that you're online, that could be from school assignments, being on your Xbox online, being on Snapchat, anything like that. And then being a good digital citizen will help teach you how to correctly post content, share information, and interact with others online. Because we live in a world where we are constantly posting things on Instagram or TikTok, and we're sharing that information with a lot of people. And we want to make sure that we are doing that in a safe and correct way. And also, digital citizenship will help you protect yourself online, and that's very important. So what does it mean to be a digital citizen? And you have to think about, when we talk about being a citizen, like in our community, this is like being a citizen, a good citizen, when you are in the online world. So all people who interact with digital technologies are digital citizens, okay? So that means whether you do good or bad things with the technologies, you are a digital citizen. However, responsible digital citizens understand the potential risks and issues that can happen when using technology. And that's going to be something I'm going to try to help teach you and help you understand, is how to become a responsible and a good digital citizen. So students, which that's you, should use technology in their daily lives to become productive in the digital age that we live in. Because let's face it, a lot of things that we do require us to know what we're doing with technology. And that's going to continue throughout all of your schooling and into college, and more than likely into your job when you're an adult. Also, students, that's you, must use responsible behavior when using technology. And students, again, that's you, will use technology responsibly to learn, create, and participate in an online world in both your personal and professional lives, okay? Because we're going to be using technology to do a lot of things in our lives, and we want to make sure that you're doing it responsibly. So becoming a good digital citizenship should happen school-wide. So everyone should model the good digital habits that your teachers use. Okay, so you want to make sure that you're modeling what I do, right? I'm not doing things on my iPad or my laptop that I shouldn't be doing. I'm using the technology in the classroom to do the work and to help me learn. And all students should teach their parents what you have learned about being a good digital citizen. Go home and have those discussions with your parents. Teach them what you learned about being a good digital citizen. Everyone should always show their ability to use technology responsibly. And that's always, okay? You always want to be doing the right thing. Everyone should take ownership over your digital life. As you get older, your most important internet filter should be your own mind. So what that means is that you need to be responsible for what you learn about being a digital citizen, okay? So when you get older, you won't have to think so hard like, oh, is the filter working? Is it not? you're just going to be able to know whether the site that you are on is trustworthy or not. And then everyone should understand that different devices have different risks. So when I'm on my laptop, that could pose different risks than when I'm on my iPad. Or if you're on your iPad at school, as compared to maybe your phone at home. Those are all going to have different risks. So qualities of a digital citizen. So like what qualities should you have? So when you're online, you need to respect yourself and others, and that goes offline too. But when you're using technology, you want to respect yourself and others. You also want to protect yourself and others. You're probably thinking, Miss Cowton, I don't have to protect myself from anything when I'm using technology, but that's not true. You need to protect your identity, and those are the people and other people's too. Educate yourself when connecting with others. A digital citizen should understand that online actions and behavior have to follow the rules and the laws. So just because you're doing something online doesn't mean that you can't get in trouble for it. If you break a rule online or if you break a law online, there will be consequences. You also have to understand that everything you do online leaves a digital footprint. That means every website you visit, every picture or video that you post, every text that you send, somebody can look that up. Even if you delete it, somebody can go back and find it. So you need to remember that. Okay, you need to be ethical. And ethical is kind of like outweighing the good or the bad, right? So when speaking with someone online, you don't get to see their facial expressions or how your words make them feel. So you want to make sure that even when you're online and you're not looking somebody in the face, that you have to remember that your words always have an impact on others. So even when you're online, if you're hiding behind a screen, please still be nice, okay? Make sure to use the programs in the ways that the teachers want you to. For example, if I tell you that, okay, yep, we can get on Cool Math and play the games right now, does that mean all I want you doing is just playing games and not doing any math? Does that mean it's okay to sneak off and do another game? Nope, it means that I'm allowing you to be on your iPads to do something that's a little bit more fun than worksheets, but I still want you practicing your math. And this is a big one. Don't ever give out your personal information online, and don't ask others for their personal information until you can verify the safety. So for example, if you go to a website and they're like, oh, click here to buy this, and you put in your payment information, well, what if that website is just a scam to get your money? You want to make sure that you're not giving out that personal information. And that goes too, like if you're chatting with someone you don't know on Snapchat, make sure you turn your location off. Do not tell them your last name. Do not tell them what town you live in. Protect yourself. Now we have to talk about the misuse of technology. So misuse is when you're doing things you shouldn't be doing. One thing you want to be aware of is that too much time on your device, whether it's an iPad or a phone or a gaming system, that can actually become addictive, which isn't a good thing. You also want to be aware of cyberbullying. Make sure that if somebody is bullying you in the online world, that you let a parent or a trusted adult know, okay? You want to make sure to let them know so they can help you. Also, too much time in the online world, which again includes gaming, can lead to undesirable behaviors. So you could start being more aggressive. You could have problems concentrating. It can even cause you to have unhealthy eating habits, and it could make you become antisocial or introverted, which means you don't really like to talk to other people in the real world. So to keep some of those from happening, make sure you disconnect from your device for quality sleep and self-care. And remember, you have to find the balance in your day-to-day interactions at school, work, with friends and family to focus on what's important. So if you're at the dinner table with your family, you probably shouldn't have your device with you. Or if you go to a friend's house after school, make sure you both put your devices down and just enjoy each other's company. So cyberbullying, this is becoming more and more of a problem because so many kids, whether it be your age all the way up to high school and college, they are always online. They're always connected because they have devices at home. When you get older, you're probably going to end up with a cell phone where you can be online. So cyberbullying is a major concern for parents and educators. And if you become a good digital citizenship, that's a good way to help address this problem or to help stop it. And like I said, cyberbullying happens the most because kids get on the internet on their phones and they have their phones with them all the time. You have to remember, treat others the way you want to be treated. That goes for on the internet too. So you need to connect your online behavior with how you want to be treated. And the big thing is having empathy. That's a good way to help prevent all kinds of bullying, including cyberbullying. And empathy means like if someone's hurting, you can kind of feel that you're hurting and you understand it, so you stop. Okay? All right. Another thing that's important when you're online is understanding the information you are reading. Okay? So sometimes, maybe if you're doing research at school or something and you just click on a website and you're like, oh, I can use this, it says this. That doesn't mean that everything you read on the internet is true, and I know that you've heard that before. So you want to be aware that there is a lot of fake news out there. So make sure you verify a source before you believe what you are reading, okay? And then sometimes, like if you're doing your current events and social studies, some of the articles that you read are written in a way that's hard to understand. So make sure that you're talking to a teacher or a parent to understand what they mean. Maybe there's other information that you need to know to go along with the article, but mostly make sure that you're not sharing any of that fake news. Okay, this one is a big one. Okay, and we're gonna stop and talk about this a little bit. So it says, understand how companies design their platforms. Now, when I say platforms, that means like the different programs you use. And I've put some pictures of examples. For example, TikTok, that's one platform. Snapchat, that's a platform. Instagram, Facebook, those are all different platforms. Okay, so these platforms will use your data, like meaning like what you do on your device, to show you tailored content and targeted ads based on your interests and browsing history. So for example, let's say I hop on Amazon and I look up makeup brushes. And then I get on Facebook and all of a sudden I'm seeing a whole bunch of ads on Facebook for makeup brushes. That they're tailoring it to fit me. Features like infinite scrolling and autoplay, they make it much easier for you to just keep going, right? So if you're scrolling on TikTok, it doesn't require a lot of work. Things just play on their own. You can keep scrolling and there's nothing there that gets in your way. And that's what they want you to do. They want you on there just going and going and going and going, but you have to realize when you need to put your device down. And then things like likes and dislikes and streaks, those are made because it plays off of how we instinctively want to have those social relationships. So if you're having streaks on Snapchat, I mean, do they really mean anything for your real life friendship? Nope. It's just a way to get you to go back to keep doing it, to keep using that program. And then social media contributes to highlight. So the highlight reels contribute to your desire to compare yourself to others. And then sometimes that can make you feel bad about yourself when you're scrolling through social media, which that's not something we ever want you to do. But when you think about it, when people post things on social media, they're not ever posting, when they look their worst or when they're having a bad day. They're only posting the really happy stuff that they want other people to see. But sometimes it's hard not to compare ourselves to that. And we definitely don't want you feeling bad when you're scrolling through social media. And then social media apps and gaming platforms. You guys know when you're playing a new game, like on your iPad or on your device or your phone, it can give you rewards, but you never know for sure what kind of reward you're going to get. So that would be a variable reward. And those are actually made a lot like casino slot machines. Okay. And all that does is it just makes you want to come back for more and more and more so that you never stop. Social networks such as Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, they can actually distort perception, like distort the way that you see things. Maybe on social media, I'm trying to think of a nice way to say this. Maybe you only see really big athletic football players playing all the time. And then you start to think that that's the normal way for a guy to look, when really that's not. Or if you're a girl, maybe you see a lot of people that have, really big lips and they're super duper skinny, but you have to remember that there's a lot of editing that goes into a lot of those things. So really what they're showing you, it's not accurate. And again, misinformation is presented in ways that looks real to promote the spreading of it. So maybe if you see a picture that looks really real and you're like, oh man, it looks real, it doesn't look like it was edited. Well, it's made that way to get you to hit that share button. And features like notifications activate a dopamine reward circuit. So, and what that is those are the feel-good vibes in your brain. So when we get notifications on our phone or our device, that's sending those feel-good vibes out in our brain, which that's going to make us want more and more, and we're going to end up addicted to that. So these are just things to be aware of. And maybe it'll help you put your device down more, to be like, nope, I'm not doing what they want me to do. I see what they're trying to get me to do here. I'm going to put it down. Now the question is, how can you achieve balance? So how can we balance our use of technology with putting it down, especially when we need technology to do so many things in our day-to-day lives? Like we need it for school. If you need to get on the internet at home to do homework, a lot of your friends are on there, but you have to make sure you balance it, okay? Because you don't want to be on your screen all the time. So ways that you can do that, well, first of all, you have to make a conscious decision to be like, hey, I don't want to be on my device too much. Once you make that decision, you can actually find apps that will help you track your screen time. So it'll let you know, like, hey, you're spending too much time on your screen. Another good thing would be to unfollow or mute social media accounts that give you bad feelings. So you know how things make you feel. If it makes you feel uneasy or like you're not good enough, man, unfollow that. Get rid of it. Another good thing to do would be to turn off your push notifications so that you don't get an alert on your phone every time something happens. This is a big one, especially with kids your age. Put your phone or your device or your gaming system, Put it out of sight before bed. Get it out of your bedroom. That way you're not tempted to be on it super late. And if you wake up in the middle of the night, you're not getting on it. A lot of kids your age have a hard time putting it away, and they end up staying up way too late. When you're hanging out with your friends, have everyone put their phone in the same place and then leave it there. And then just go be with each other. Have fun with each other. You don't need your device all the time. If you want to be conscious about your screen time, make sure you say you're going to schedule screen time and screen-free time. So maybe after school, I'm going to give myself a half hour on my screen and an hour outside playing with friends. And then this is a big one. You need to figure out what things do you like to do that keep you from being bored or sad that do not involve screen time. Maybe you like to play card games or board games with your family. Maybe you like to build Legos. Maybe you like to go ride your bike. Find those things and do more of that. Now, there are things that the adults in your building need to be doing to help make sure you become a good digital citizen. So the adults in your building, that's the teachers, the staff, things that we need to do is use multiple different ways to communicate with your families. So maybe we reach out via text message. Maybe it's Seesaw. Maybe it's Facebook. We send a lot of messages out on ThrillShare, and that shoots it out to Facebook and Instagram through email and onto the school website page. Okay, your teachers and the adults in the building, we should always be working towards using new and improved ways to use technology in the classroom to help support your learning. Okay, we don't want to be using programs that are super old that maybe we like, but they're not really supporting your learning anymore. Okay, the adults should always model good behavior when they're online. Okay, like I said, when we're at school, the adults are there to work, so we should be doing things online that are for work. And then another thing we need to do, and Mr. Herman helps us with this, is before we push an app out to your phone or to your iPad, we're going to make sure, we're going to evaluate it, which means we're going to make sure that it's a very private site, meaning the information can't get out to people it shouldn't get out to, and that the app is actually valuable to our needs in the classroom. Okay, and then this would be my reference page. So these are all the articles I looked at to find this information. So I actually wasn't just making it up. I read a bunch of articles on it, and I learned a whole bunch when I read it, and I wanted to share that with you all. Okay, so hopefully we can work towards being really good digital citizens.